Welcome, Wolfgang Sonnenburg, on our radio show, We Empower. I'm very happy to have you here.
Good morning, Anabel. I'm happy to be here as well. Thank you for inviting me.
Wolfgang, it's great how we could start a radio show with you with your favorite song today. I don't want to miss a thing. It's a power ballad that captures the intensity of love, making even the smallest moments feel like eternity. And I think it says already a lot about you, but also about your mission and about your vision.
Yeah, and it says also something about my life because a lot of years I missed so many moments. In my childhood, I was not so happy. And we even had
Mhm.
the idea of killing times in a time when we're waiting or bored or whatever, and not really valuing the gift of being alive. So, yeah, maybe it's a part of age as well, but yeah, it is really about embracing every moment and don't miss a thing. Mm.
Yeah, and I think it's also something we could learn from the early childhood where we stepped into and saw everything, thought that a small leaf could be eternity, or just watching the clouds could be eternity, and just a small moment could be everything. And then there comes a time where we lose this, and then when we have to integrate it in our life, which is in the meantime hopefully full of experience, which is a kind of lived wisdom, to make us understanding and evaluating how much it means, right?
Yeah, it's a really an interesting question. Do we lose it or do they tell us stop doing what you're doing? Yeah, if you let your child just stare at the clouds and they say, what are you doing? Daydreaming? No, you need to do something. And it's just very, very early we get the feeling that we are not okay. So,
Hmm.
like I often say, I was born in as an apple, but unfortunately in a parent family. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they try to make a good parent out of me. And I felt, and it's because of we needed the love, the caring, the food,
Hmm.
just to what they say. And our parents, at least at that time, rarely could make the difference between the doing and the being. So
Yeah.
they all, you're a bad boy or whatever, and not
Hmm.
separating, I will always love you, but I don't like the behavior. So
Hmm.
I was
Super
trained,
important.
I was not okay. And
Hmm.
then I was, yeah, can I go away? And then I started, we'll say, killing time. How long can I
Hmm.
avoid to be with them or whatever? And stopped all the beauty to see in the nature. And later, yeah, how can I do something that I get recognition from the outside?
Hmm. It's great how you describe it, because yes, I think we have it always in us, this skill, this ability that we can see the biggest and the smallest, that we can increase, that we can use every moment for getting better back to us and to ourselves, and see the great potential which is in all of us. I completely agree with you. And if we look from outside on your life, then of course we can tell great stories because you're not just a multi serial, we could say, entrepreneur. You're an author, you're a mentor, you're an advocate for purpose before profit, and you taught and coached many people, also many well-known people. You are formerly a lawyer and a very successful lawyer you were, and you were managing director in tax consulting, and you decided then one day to leave all this behind you, because you said uh, your soul was calling, and I like this very much, this sentence. Um, how was it that your soul was calling? Was it a painful moment, or was it a more moment where you could see how much happiness is awaiting for you on the other side?
Oh, it's a kind of my different dimension thing or the different levels. You know, when I said my time and my childhood was really tough for me,
Mm.
and my coping technique was to go kind of on the meta level and watch it from us, so dissociating with what
Already in
it.
your childhood?
Yes, yes, very
Wow.
early. I had the tough times. And what there felt bad
Hmm.
is later the gift. On the level of duality, there is no bad with the same amount of good, but I couldn't see it. And going on the meta level and watching, is today my special gift or ability in coaching or in consulting, because I
Hmm.
can see from a different point very fast where is the solution.
Hmm.
I'm not on the same thing. And when I started with the law, I that was more the little Wolfgang inside who says I can do something for justice. But I ended up as a cost manager in a big. We had in the Hamburg office building. We managed 5 floors, employees.
Hmm.
So I stuck there, and then I ended up. People wanted me to fight. Here's a yeah, go to the lawyer and fight for that and this and that,
Hmm.
because you're not trained to really create peace or yeah, and just bring parties together and how we create a win-win. No, it was
Hmm.
just lose. And I guess I
Yeah.
created the start to prove something to my dad. And at the moment, yeah, I get kind of more sick and
Yeah.
meaning body-wise and not living my true nature.
Hmm.
So that's why I needed to cut it down. And a lot of people said it's a midlife crisis, but no. Oh, one interview, someone said, "Oh, you stepped out of life." Yeah, no, I stepped in life. Finally, I come closer. What is my true nature in doing that?
So it was more a midlife chance.
Yes, yes, yeah. But it takes really concentration on your nature, because a kind part of me was a failure. I started
Hmm.
something and stopped it. So,
Hmm.
on the level of duality, you see both, and it's a question where you put your energy. I could
Hmm.
now say, oh, the rest of my life is a failure. Oh, now I had the courage to cut off
Yeah.
facade, the admiring from other people off, and just live my true self. And guess what? I could help now so much more people.
I could imagine. And can you remember the moment where you decided, or can you the moment afterwards how it was? Because I can imagine. I mean, there are many people in the world who are listening also know to us, and they say, "How brave is this guy that he not only talked about it, but he did it?" Because in our heads, we are the greatest visionaries, we are the greatest entrepreneurs, but so many stay with having it in their head. They say, tomorrow I do this. Next week I do this. I'm still sick. I can't do it. Let me think about it. I think I can do it, but it will wait for me. And later they will say, oh, I'm sorry. There were so many things coming into my life and I couldn't do it. So they just react. They're not acting because they are frightened. They are no risk taker. They don't see life in this risk as a chance. What was, can you maybe share this moment, or can you share maybe what brought you exactly to this moment that you said, no,
It's
tomorrow?
really interesting. Obviously, the question always, I guess, we can talk 3 days about it, but because one thing is, it's not just one thing. It's like,
Hmm.
um, I always say it's one drop, yeah, and then the
Yeah.
barrel can overflow. But it's not just a drop. There are a lot of liters of whatever already in. So it was a process.
Hmm.
And then finally, I couldn't stand it anymore. So I never would say it's courage.
Yeah.
It's even the opposite. I had not the courage. That's why I stayed so long in the wrong place. But when the pain is hard enough, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pain of the solution is less than the pain of staying there. So then finally you make a decision, and then in the end, I
Hmm.
tried different ways with hiring different people to get that I could get out, but energetically it never worked because I needed to change my frequency. I was on a long level of frequency. What is my true own frequency? And to
Hmm.
go there, that was yeah, the big thing. And if courage, then it's just the courage, and not on the outside courage to leave that. It's just the courage.
Yeah.
Do I dare to live my true self?
Yeah, that's right. The question should be a different one. It's not about
Yes.
you have to ask yourself the right question. That's
Exactly. That is,
exactly.
I'm always dreaming of writing a book on the wrong question and never get the good and right answer.
Yeah, exactly. We are often
Yes.
asking us the wrong question
Yes.
and the wrong questions, and we are
Yeah.
often taking the wrong perspective.
Yes, and we're looking on the level, do I do this and do that? Like in my book, Millionaire Spirit, I asked, should I smoke Camel or Marlboro? And if you have those questions, you answer only on that level. What is this? Is it cheaper? Is it that? Which is color? What is it? The other question, should I smoke? Oh, you don't need to know about Marlboro or Camel, but what is the smoke, the terror in doing nicotine or whatever in you? But there could be another question. What is the best for my health?
Hmm.
Oh, and you don't need to learn anything about cigarettes anymore. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's the tricky thing is if we have the wrong question, the question fixes us on the wrong level of frequency.
Hmm.
And then Harvard professor said a question is like the receptor for the answer. So if you don't have the right question, you don't get the right answer. Yeah, as long as I ask Marble or Camel, I never go for the best of my health.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I reduce it today. If I'm struggling in something, should I do or don't feel good? I just have the picture. What if before I incarnated, were
Hmm.
on cloud 27, sitting there with some other souls, and I decided, hey, I want to go down and do this and that. Uh, so now I'm here,
Hmm.
and when I feel sad or angry or whatever, I ask myself, what was it on Cloud 27? Why did I want it to go down? To experience a drama? Was it that? Do I feel like that? No, no, it was something different. Okay, then what was it? Well, so it helps me today to get very fast out of situation. What is it what I really truly want here?
Hmm. Exactly, same to me. When I'm in situations where I don't know or where I'm feeling insecure or somewhere is
Mhm.
in a kind of mud, then I
Mhm.
ask my question as long as it goes, what do you really want? What do you really want? As long
Yeah,
as
and if we
it
go
bores me.
even more closer to the one question, what I want or something, or when I feel insecure, this is always the subpersonality we created, the persona we created. The soul, your higher self, never feels insecure, but we
Yes,
are disconnected. And the moment we connect to it again, aligned with higher spirit, what you call it God, source, or whatever, everything is fine again.
that's right. Yes, it's absolutely right. So it is about being connected with yourself. And
Yeah.
you said that you had a tough childhood. I'm not sure if you want to talk about it, but I mean, sometimes we have good experiences, sometimes bad experiences. You said that your parents couldn't
Mhm.
understand the difference between Wolfgang. We love Wolfgang, or
Mhm.
Wolfgang, but we don't love Wolfgang's behavior. And I found it very important to just stress it once again because it means such a difference that we say, okay, I love you. This is something which stays, but I
Yeah.
don't like your behavior right now.
Yes. Well,
And
it's a
all,
tough question in the modern times. We should be able to say, Putin, I love you, but your behavior I don't like. Yeah, then we challenge and say, oh, how far can we go
yeah,
uh, and doing this? That
exactly.
that is, but also I had a bad childhood. Yeah, we easily talk about it, but
Hmm.
we need to be aware that that is a judgment in.
Hmm.
So, do I really, like Byron Katie said, do you have proof it would have been better otherwise? And like I said, today I'm benefiting of what I trained.
Hmm.
It's like if you train muscles, there's a hard time
Exactly.
in between. It can be painful.
Yes.
Was it a bad situation? No, it was what I needed to go through, maybe. And I stopped ideally judging everything. And like saying is also, it is what it is, says love.
That's
And
a great,
I need to
that's,
go totally out
yeah.
of judgment and say, okay, what is the day today? I don't want to miss a moment, but I don't want to miss a moment of being true, connected, and
Yeah.
my true.
This is so true. And I think this is a wisdom, a lived wisdom, which I hope that many of our listeners, people are here with us, get there and can turn into their lives. And I liked also very much your sentence. It has to be trained as a muscle. sometimes
Yeah.
this can be painful. So we've had an exciting exchange already, so stay tuned. So we continue with the second part of our radio show of the talk with Wolfgang Sonnenburg, multi-entrepreneur and from a very successful business lawyer to a spiritual master of many people, coaching them, bringing them into a new life. Wolfgang, we just ended our first part of the talk show with talking about childhood. And of course, often I think our parents do things which they don't want to do against us. They haven't learned it in another way. And you can get parents without need to go into a parent school, right?
And even they sometimes they really, from their perspective, try to do the best. Yeah, but it's not maybe the best for me.
Exactly.
That's what we are not seeing. We're dealing with our personal views of the world, values, and you can't really stay back and just, how? Who are you? What is important for you? Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it is also important to speak transparent. And we often, or parents often, if they can't stand with something, they go into a kind of ironic or indirect speech, which kids can't completely deal with.
Yeah, and you see also now, why do we have kids? Part of it's just a biological thing, hormones are driving us. Where is really the free choice? But then on the other hand, you see society has this, huh? And you see everybody saying, do you have kids? Yeah, yes, I have kids. I have a house, a car, and I have kids. And it's not really the deep understanding. I am inviting a soul. I'm ready to invite a soul to do my best to support this soul, that this soul can live up to the best purpose. So it's totally different way. And we know how we program our subconscious decides how we act. Huh?
Exactly. And I mean, do you have kids by yourself?
No, but sometimes I say I have thousands, just no.
So your coaches
That's
or the
why
whole.
I need to say, okay, maybe I'm talking about something what I never really experienced. But if you have employees or
Yeah,
relationships and everything, you always, and who do we meet? Do we really meet adults? No,
exactly.
mainly we always meet kids.
Yes.
Because when are we really an adult?
Yeah.
What process we are going, especially now in the Western world? When I was in Kenya, there was with the Maasais, when they with the 13 are sent out and to kill a lion with nearly with their hands. Oh, that is a different thing. And then they say, now you are a man, and now we invite you to sit with all the elderly people. But most kids today in the Western world grow up with no challenges like this. And
Mhm.
then even in which home, at lunch or wherever, you start about talking about money and how life
Mhm.
is. Where do you learn something about life?
Yes.
I went to school, I studied, and then I was thrown into life. Nobody
Mhm.
taught me what is life.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And it's great that you're describing this ritual in this indigenous societies. I spoke a few weeks ago with somebody from indigenous world, and he described me this ritual about getting an adult. And he said it was the most important ever, where he had the feeling that he can be so proud of what he is, and they trust him, and they give him the ability that he can take over responsibility. And he said that was great because he said, in your words, in your Western world, in the industry world, there's nothing like this. You get maybe your driving lesson, you
Mhm.
get your A levels, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything. There's no ritual about it, and you lost your rituals. This is so bad for growing
Yeah.
up.
But maybe from the wording, even kid or adult, there's André Stern, who never
Yeah.
went to school, and he was once when he was 42 asked from a journalist. How is it for an adult now, not getting school and being 42? And he says, no, I'm not an adult. I'm a 42-year-old kid. And if we go in the Bible, it says you should become like kids again. I
Yeah.
think that the right question is more, when is the change from, in my case, from boy to man?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm a real man.
Mm-hmm.
And this is missing
Yes.
all the time. So that's why I created facades. Oh, if I have the facade, maybe then but
Mm-hmm.
the little boy had the big facade and couldn't really be happy there.
Exactly. And I mean, as facades, we are creating clothes, for example, that we're saying,
Yeah.
okay, you are 60, you shouldn't wear these clothes anymore. This is more
Yeah.
for younger. Or we say, now you can wear this clothes because you look older. But what it
Mhm.
means, what is
Yes.
behind this is all
Yes.
something which
Box,
is
box,
unspoken.
box.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Exactly, and it's interesting because the more we are stepping into this digital world, we
Yeah.
less we learn from us, and we more take things from the old world without understanding it, right?
Yeah. And what is the meaning also? When I grew up, a man
Yeah.
drinks and never cries. Huh? Yeah. So, ah, is that really healthy? Yeah,
Both is
so
not
it's so much
healthy.
stupidity in what level, and we are never really going for the best. What is my natural? And
Yes.
I left the purpose stuff, and I once, when I fell in a depression, and then later came to the purpose finding, and had
Mhm.
class to figure out the purpose, and it was in a room where I could see a walnut tree outside in the garden.
Oh,
And I just
wow.
from then on, I used the example. Look at the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a raspberry. What do you call it? Yeah, bushes.
Yeah.
There was grass and a walnut tree. So is the grass now suffering because it's so small compared to the bushes and the tree, or is the tree? So, oh gosh, everybody can see me. Yeah. So no, it's just that compare with others.
Yeah.
If you're grass, be the best grass you can be. If you're a bush or whatever berry you are, be the best of that. Walnut tree, yes, do the best. And that's our job, and love the variety. Like in nature, we really can find ourselves so much more and connect.
It's a great, great.
When I'm allowed to say this, but the problem is also with the wording. When we talk about nature,
Yeah.
to nature is just delivering resources.
Hmm.
When we German have the nature protection, nobody says, "Oh, I'm protected." No,
Mm-mm.
nature is has nothing to do with us, and there
Yeah.
we lose out on a lot of level, and that's why we can't really be happy and healthy.
Exactly, we are because we are not connected. We
Yeah.
disconnect everything from us
Yes.
and put distance to this. If we unify with that, then we
Hmm.
understand that one belongs to each other. And then we would understand that this ecosystem where nature belongs to is our ecosystem. So if we destroy it, then we destroy ourselves.
Hmm.
But having not the connection, we can't find this clue. So everybody else around us can influence us with telling us what he or she wants, and we believe
Yeah.
this more because we are we are so insecure about everything what is about us.
Yeah, because the subpersonality we create is maybe only strong in one area, not in the other areas.
Yeah.
Because when I am, the I am, my true self, is never insecure. If I'm
Yeah.
connected, I'm never insecure because I know I'm the tree. I don't worry about the other sizes or whatever.
Ah,
But that's why for thousands of years
yeah.
they say, know yourself. Yeah,
Hmm.
that is, in Greece, the Oracle of Delphi, everything know yourself. Everything is know yourself, and
Hmm.
we change. Like in Stephen Covey, in his book The Seven Habits of Highly Successful People,
Yeah.
mentioned till 1920, success was based on character, on principles.
Hmm.
Changed to image. So
Yes.
I learned I need to have the facade, I need to have the right car, but inside I didn't change anything.
So you're
Yeah.
so right.
And
And
that is what we need to do. Who are you? Are you the walnut tree, the grass, or whatever, an
mhm.
apple, banana? Only then you can live a purposeful, fulfilled, and even wealthy life. Because I see all the others would pretend something, like in my case, facade. I lost it all. If it's not for you, really, you lose it all, or you go sick.
Yeah. So you have to understand that you are unique. And only
Yes,
if you understand it and
yeah,
understand also the idea of biodiversity, where
yes,
you're part of that, then you
yeah,
understand why it's important that you are diverse and that you don't need
yeah.
to fit into a box. It's a completely other understanding of the world and of the nature, that the synergy is the key and not
And
being
it's
all the
the only
same.
way to live, to really
Yes.
be alive. Copying someone else is suicide.
Yes, this is right. And I
Yeah.
mean, I can imagine that for you, with the lawyer with a very clear system of laws and paragraphs, on the one hand, it must have been easier, but on the other hand, even more challenging, because coming from this paragraph world into opening the boxes and getting out of it, this this has it shaped your way to new understanding? Because I mean, so often people just adapted, so they would
Oh,
have.
you open up another important topic, what we really experience now. You know, law
Yeah.
from the if you see Germany after the war, we had a kind of Grundgesetz, so the really kind of constitution and everything what other countries have as well. And this, the joke about the Ten Commandments, around 70 words, American Declaration of Independence, 300 words, and the European import regulation for caramel sweets is 20,300 and everything. So what we crazy thing do? But
Hmm.
if you go to the basic law, like in our, like from German lawyer, the Article 1 is the dignity. Everybody is, like you said, is equal. If you go to the basic laws, it's the basic rules and principles we should live to, but we don't do it.
Hmm.
There is also 21 of this article says political parties should be part of helping the people to understand the political ideas, not
Hmm.
dominating. But they
Exactly.
changed the laws. Today is something totally different in than the founders. What did the founders of America wanted? What did the founders of the German nation after the World War wanted? Because they had war inside the experience and said, no, we
Hmm.
don't ever have this again.
Yeah.
We violate it. Like, look how the parliament, the people talking, they're crazy kids, traumatized kids are
Hmm.
fighting there, and not real adults. How do we do the best for our people?
Hmm. Yeah, that's right. There should be a change, a completely change in the understanding of this
Yes.
position, which is not a job to earn
Yeah.
money or to be driven in a great car by somebody who opens you the phone and you get out and you feel really good.
Yes.
No, you should be the servant of the will of the society, and in this way, you have to understand you. Um,
But it's all
und
fear driven. No?
yes.
If you go in the power, it's fear driven. It's not just the natural power. It's also interesting. Like, see, the little dogs are barking, the big dog, the elephant, interesting, or whatever. So if you feel you need to do something, yeah, so it's just, and they lost it. And the system
Hmm.
is you lose it. If you have not enough sleep and everything, you can't be creative, you can't be really aligned anymore. And you
Hmm.
see how the political world is. If you have 16 hours fighting every day,
Yeah.
after a few months or years for sure, you're not clear anymore. You can't really be the best and bring the best for the people.
Yeah, exactly. And therefore, you have to learn. And I think it's also something, I mean, you turned into something which calls more sales. No? You went into
Mhm.
structured sites, where in United States, it's completely normal to work in this field because it's that you're just saying, hey, I like this product. And you go to your neighbor or somebody else and say, do you also want to try this product? Because I'm convinced, do you want to try? It
Yeah.
is. And in the Western world, we have somehow still a problem often with sales. As sales is one of the biggest gift, if you can say. What mindset shifts are essential for success in sales or also entrepreneurship?
Yeah, we are really so much in ideology.
Yes.
And for me, as a German, I'm traveling around the world, and they have two words everywhere everybody understands. It's kindergarten, and the other one is German Angst. How
Mm.
crazy is this that German Angst is an international word?
Yes.
Um, and that's what we have is still in the system. You look at Corona, how people had, and now if you see the election, what happens, how they're fighting and separating each other. They're crazy. Nobody wants to live like this.
Yeah.
Everybody dreams about a different world, but is acting that it can't happen.
Yeah, exactly. You're so right. We need, I think, 2, 3, 4, 5 further hours, and we have to see how we get them, Wolfgang. That is really necessary, even if I have to come to South Africa to do that,
I
which I
come
would
back
like
to Europe. Yeah.
because it's rainy
In
here
April,
and
I'm back.
cold,
Yeah.
and the
Mhm.
sun is missing.
Yeah.
But do you want to share with us your top 3 daily habits or hacks that keep you mentally and physical strong?
I although like you need to have a ritual and everything, but in the end, not. I made an interesting experience a year ago. I had a kind of, I call it collapse.
Hmm.
My inner world was struggling, subpersonally struggling. And there was a week laying down, not eating and not moving. And afterwards, I went in the studio to measure. I guess I lost muscle weight or muscle
Hmm.
mass. And no, I gained muscles and lost fat. How can that be? Everybody told me that's not possible. If you start to be aligned, really
Hmm.
aligned, yeah, like Deepak Chopra wrote a book, Quantum Body.
Yes.
If soul has a chance, and I see it today simply as a driver in the car. If the
Hmm.
driver has a good connection with the car is safe. You don't need to put it. When I was driving my young age, totally different, ignoring the car and the mechanics, and so I want that, and so I killed my car, my body. So, but it's interesting if you change the alignment and allow your body, a lot of healing can take place. And just
Yeah.
we have Johanna Ilgenfritz here, the founder, who has just made a big shift and paradigm shift, and is maybe today so fit he never was before.
Great. Thank you so, so much, Wolfgang, for the engaging discussion and the inspiring insights you gave us today. And I look very, very much forward to our ongoing exchange and the impact we will continue to make the world a better place. Thank you very much
Thanks,
for being with
Anabel, and
us.
thank you, Johan, for setting up all this. It's so wonderful that we can spread a message in the world. Thank you.
Thank you.